The bridge of the human ship New Horizon was quiet except for the soft hum of computers. Captain Park Sung-ho sat in his command chair, looking out at the stars through the main window. Space looked peaceful, but Park knew better. After 20 years as a captain, he had learned that space was never really peaceful. "Captain!" called Kim Hae-jin from her station. She was the ship's communications officer, a young woman with sharp eyes and quick fingers. "I'm getting something strange on the long-range sensors." Park turned toward her. "What kind of strange?" Kim's fingers moved over her controls. Her face showed worry. "It's a message, sir. But it's broken up. The signal is very weak, and it's not coming from any human world." "Aliens?" asked Lieutenant Commander Lee Min-soo. He was Park's second in command, a tall man with serious eyes. Lee had been with Park for 5 years. He knew how to read the captain's moods. "Yes, sir," Kim said. "But the language is not one we know. The computer is trying to translate, but it's taking time." Park stood up from his chair. The New Horizon was far from Earth, patrolling the edge of human space. They were alone out here, days away from the nearest human world. If aliens were sending messages this far out, it meant something important was happening. "Put it on the main screen," Park ordered. The front screen flickered. Static filled the air. Then a voice came through, speaking words that sounded like music mixed with breaking glass. The computer's translation appeared as text on the screen. "Please, anyone, help us. They are coming. Our world is dying. We have no weapons. Please." The message cut out. Static returned. "Can you clean it up?" Park asked. Kim worked at her station. Sweat appeared on her forehead. "I'm trying, Captain. The signal is very far away, and it's getting weaker." Dr. Choi So-young entered the bridge. She was the ship's doctor and science officer, a small woman with kind eyes and a smart mind. "I heard we picked up an alien signal," she said. "A call for help," Park told her, "from someone with no weapons." The signal came back. This time it was clearer. "This is Elder Silandra of the Veltari people. Our world is Veltara Prime. The Crothan Empire has found us. They demand we surrender everything. They will kill all of us. We are a peaceful people. We have no army, no guns, no way to fight. If anyone can hear this, please help us. We do not want to die." The bridge went quiet. Everyone looked at each other. "Crothan Empire?" Lee said. "I've heard that name before." Dr. Choi nodded. Her face was pale. "They're bad news. Very bad news. The Federation files say they've destroyed over 40 worlds in the last 1,000 years. They never leave anyone alive." "How many ships do they have?" Park asked. "Thousands," Dr. Choi said. "Maybe 10,000 or more. They're the biggest military force in the galaxy." Engineering Chief Won Jae-hyuk walked onto the bridge. He was a thick man with strong hands and a loud voice. "Captain, I heard we got trouble coming." "Maybe," Park said. "Kim, can you get more of that message?" Kim tried again. The voice of Elder Silandra came through once more. "We tried to talk to them. We offered them our art, our music, our knowledge. The Crothan do not care. They only want to destroy. They are bombing our cities. Our people are dying. We have maybe 3 days before they kill everyone. Please, if there is anyone out there who can help, we beg you. We do not want our children to die." Navigator Yoon Da-eun looked up from her station. She was young, maybe 25, with quick hands and a good heart. "Captain, I can find their location. The signal is coming from the outer rim about 3 days away at full speed." "3 days," Park said quietly. "Sir," Lee said carefully, "we should contact Fleet Command. Let them know what's happening." Park knew Lee was right. The New Horizon was just one ship with 800 crew members. The Crothan Empire had thousands of ships and millions of soldiers. It would be suicide to go alone. But Park also knew something else. Fleet Command would look at the numbers. They would see that the Veltari were not human. They would decide it was not worth the risk. The Veltari would die while humans talked about what to do. "Captain," Dr. Choi said softly, "the files say the Veltari are completely peaceful. They've never hurt anyone. They make beautiful art and music. They're like children in a way, innocent. And the Crothan will kill them all," Juan said. His big hands made fists. "Just because they can." The signal came again. This time, Elder Silandra's voice sounded weaker. "The sky is full of their ships. So many ships. Our crystal cities are breaking. The music of our people is ending. If anyone hears this, please remember us. Please remember that we tried to live in peace. Please remember that we loved beauty and art and life. Goodbye." The signal died. The bridge was silent for a long moment. Park looked at his crew. These were good people. People who had chosen to serve in space, far from home, to protect others. He saw the look in their eyes. They wanted to help. They wanted to try, even if it meant dying. "Navigator Yoon," Park said finally. "Yes, sir?" "Set course for Veltara Prime." Lee stepped forward. "Captain, we should—" "Maximum speed," Park continued. "Sir," Lee said more firmly, "we're one ship. They have hundreds, maybe thousands. It's impossible." Park turned to look at him. "Maybe. But we're going anyway." "Why?" Lee asked. Park was quiet for a moment. He thought about the voice of Elder Silandra. He thought about children on a distant world, looking up at the sky and seeing death coming for them. He thought about what it meant to be human. Because someone asked for help, Park said simply. He sat back down in his captain's chair. "All hands, this is the captain. We're going into battle. We might not come back. Anyone who wants to leave can take the shuttle to the nearest station. No shame in that. Nobody moved. Yoon, take us to Veltara Prime. Best speed." "Yes, sir." The New Horizon turned in space and jumped to faster than light speed. Behind them, the stars disappeared. Ahead of them waited either victory or death. Park didn't know which one they would find, but he knew they had to try. The New Horizon flew through space at its fastest speed. Captain Park stood on the bridge, watching the stars blur past. 3 days to reach Veltara Prime. 3 days to figure out how 800 humans could fight an empire. "Captain?" Kim Heijin called from her station. "I'm getting more signals from the Veltari world. They're still alive." "Put it through," Park said. Elder Silandra's voice filled the bridge. She sounded tired and scared. "The Crothan ships surround us now. So many ships. They are bigger than our cities. They wait above our world like dark clouds. They sent us a message. We must give them everything. All our resources. All our people to be slaves. If we refuse, they will burn our world." Dr. Choi looked up from her medical station. "Captain, I've been studying the files on both species. The Veltari are crystal-based, life forms. They think differently than us. They literally cannot understand violence. It's not in their nature." "And the Crothan?" Park asked. "The opposite," Dr. Choi said. "They only understand violence. They've been conquering worlds for 3,000 years. Every species they meet either becomes slaves or dies." Lieutenant Commander Lee walked over to Park. "Sir, I've been running battle simulations. Even with our best weapons and tactics, we can't win against their numbers." "How many ships do they have at Veltara Prime?" Park asked. "Long-range sensors show at least 200 Crothan warships," Navigator Yoon reported. "Each one is 10 times bigger than us." Chief Wan shook his head. "That's not just a fight, Captain. That's suicide." Park nodded. He knew the numbers were impossible, but he also knew something about humans that the aliens didn't understand. "One, I need you to modify our weapons," Park said. "Modify them how?" "I want you to think about asteroid mining. We have mining charges, right? Juan's eyes got bright. He was starting to understand. Yes, sir. Lots of them. Good. Dr. Choi, I need you to study everything we know about Crothon. Psychology. How do they think? What scares them? I'll get right on it, she said. A new signal came from Veltara Prime. This time, Elder Silandra was talking directly to the New Horizon. Human ship. We can sense you coming. Your minds are so different from ours. So full of fire and determination. Why do you come? You cannot win against the Crothon. Park took the communication device. Elder Silandra, this is Captain Park, of the human ship New Horizon. We come because you asked for help. But you will die. All of you. For people you have never met. Maybe, Park said. But that's what humans do. There was a long pause. Then Elder Silandra spoke again, her voice full of wonder. I do not understand your species, but I am grateful. We will sing songs of your bravery when we join our ancestors. Don't sing our funeral songs yet, Park said. We're not dead. Over. The next 2 days, the crew worked hard. One and his engineers took apart mining equipment to make new kinds of weapons. Dr. Choi studied alien psychology files. Yoon calculated flight paths through the asteroid field around Veltara Prime. On. The second day, more signals came from the Veltari world. The Crothon have begun bombing our outer cities. They want to show us their power. Our crystal spires are breaking. Our people are dying, but we will not surrender. Because of you, brave humans, we have found courage we did not know we had, Lee. Came to Park's private office. Captain, can I speak freely? Always. This is crazy. We're one ship. They have 200. Our crew is going to die for aliens we've never seen. Park leaned back in his chair. You're right. It is crazy. Then why are we doing it? Park was quiet for a moment. Then he said, My grandfather fought in the Korean War. He told me stories about being outnumbered, outgunned, facing impossible odds. He said something I never forgot. What? He said, Sometimes you don't fight because you can win. You fight because it's right. Lee stared at him. And that's enough? It has to be. On the third day, they reached the Veltara system. The main screen showed a beautiful blue-green world surrounded by crystal cities that floated in space. The cities were like giant diamonds, catching the light of the sun and throwing rainbows everywhere. But around the crystal cities, like dark clouds, were the Crothon ships. Hundreds of them. Each one was massive, covered in weapons and armor. My God, Yoon whispered. They're so big. Captain, Kim said, I'm getting a transmission from the Crothon fleet. Put it on screen. The screen filled with the face of a Crothon warrior. He looked like a cross between a lizard and a bull with red eyes and sharp teeth. When he spoke, his voice was like rocks grinding together. Human ship, I am Warlord Graktor. You are in Crothon space now. You will leave immediately or be destroyed. Park stood up. This is Captain Park of the human vessel New Horizon. We're here to help the Veltari. Graktor's red eyes got brighter. Help? One small ship against the might of the Crothon Empire? You are either very brave or very stupid. Maybe both, Park said. The warlord laughed, a sound like breaking glass. I admire courage, even foolish courage. You may watch as we cleanse this world. Then you may leave and tell your people what happens to those who oppose the Crothon Empire. No, Park said simply. The laughter stopped. What did you say? I said no. You're not going to hurt these people. Graktor's face twisted with anger. You dare to threaten me? One ship against 200? One ship, Park agreed. But we're humans. That means nothing to me. Park smiled, but it wasn't a happy smile. It will. The communication ended. The bridge was quiet. Orders, Captain? Lee asked. Park looked at his crew. These people had followed him into the impossible. They trusted him. He hoped their trust wasn't misplaced. "Take us into the asteroid field," Park ordered. "Let's show these aliens what humans can do." The New Horizon moved toward the crystal cities of Veltara Prime. Behind them, 200 Crothan warships began to follow. Elder Silandra's voice came over the communication system one more time. "Captain Park, our people are watching. Whatever happens, know that you have already won something. You have shown us that there is still good in the universe, that there are those who will stand against darkness." "We're not done yet," Park said. "No. Brave human, I think your fight is just beginning." The New Horizon disappeared into the asteroid field. The hunt was about to begin. The asteroid field around Veltara Prime was like a maze of floating rocks. Some were as small as cars. Others were as big as cities. The New Horizon moved between them like a fish swimming through coral. 50 Crothan ships are following us into the field, Navigator Yoon reported. "The rest are staying near the planet." Captain Park nodded. That was what he expected. Warlord Graktor was being careful. He was sending enough ships to kill one human vessel, but not risking his whole fleet. "One, are the charges ready?" Park asked. Chief Wan grinned. His face was dirty from working in the engine room for 3 days. "Better than ready, Captain. I've placed mining charges on 20 asteroids. But these aren't normal mining charges anymore." "What did you do to them?" "I turned them into electromagnetic pulse bombs. When they explode, they'll shut down any ship nearby for about 10 minutes. Dr. Choi looked up from her station. "I've been studying Crothan battle tactics. They always use the same plan. Surround the enemy and attack from all sides at once. They've never lost a battle because they never change their methods." "Good," Park said. "That means they won't expect us to change ours." Lieutenant Commander Lee was watching the sensor screen. "Captain, the Crothan ships are spreading out. They're trying to surround us just like Dr. Choi said." "Perfect. Kim, send a message to Warlord Graktor." Kim opened the communication channel. Park's voice went out to the Crothan fleet. "Warlord Graktor, this is Captain Park. I want to make you an offer." The Warlord's angry face appeared on screen. "You are in no position to make offers, human. Leave this system now, and we won't embarrass you in front of your own fleet." Graktor's red eyes blazed with fury. "Embarrass me? You think one small ship can embarrass the Crothan Empire?" "We're about to find out," Park said calmly. "Enough. All ships, destroy the human vessel. Leave nothing alive." The communication ended. Park turned to his crew. "Everyone ready?" They all nodded. These were good people, brave people. They knew they might die in the next few minutes, but they were ready to fight. "One, trigger the charges." "Yes, sir." One's finger hit the button. All around the asteroid field, 20 rocks exploded at once. But these weren't normal explosions. They were bursts of electromagnetic energy that spread out like invisible waves. The 50 Crothan ships were caught completely by surprise. Their shields flickered and died. Their weapons went silent. Their engines stopped working. "Now!" Park shouted. The New Horizon came alive. Its weapons fired at the helpless Crothan ships. But Park wasn't trying to destroy them all. He was doing something smarter. "Target their communication arrays," Park ordered. "I want them deaf and blind." The human ship moved like a dancer between the floating rocks. Its weapons struck with perfect accuracy. One by one, the Crothan ships lost the ability to talk to each other or to their fleet. "Some of their ships are getting power back," Yoon reported. "Expected," Park said. "One, activate the second wave." More explosions filled the asteroid field. This time, one had rigged the charges to throw the asteroids themselves like giant cannonballs. The rocks flew through space, smashing into Crothan ships. 12 enemy ships destroyed, Lee reported. 20 more heavily damaged. But Park wasn't finished. "All hands, prepare for ramming speed." "Sir?" Lee asked. "You heard me. We're going to ram the command ship." Dr. Choi stared at him. Captain, that will destroy us too. Will it? Park asked with a strange smile. The New Horizon flew straight at the biggest Croathan ship in the field. The enemy vessel was 3 times larger than the human ship. Its weapons were coming back online. Captain, Yoon called out, they're going to fire. Wait for it, Park said. The Crothan ship's main gun charged up. Energy began to glow around its weapon. Now, Park shouted. 1. Hit another button. The asteroid the Crothan ship was hiding behind exploded, but not outward. 1 had shaped the charge to blow inward, pushing the giant rock into the enemy vessel. The asteroid hit the Crothan ship like a hammer. The ship's weapon misfired, the energy blast going wild. The vessel spun out of control. The New Horizon flew past, its hull scraping against the spinning enemy ship. But instead of crashing, the human vessel used the collision to change direction and fly toward another target. Impossible! Came a voice over the radio. It was a Crothan officer. How are they doing this? Because they think like us, came another voice. They're not fighting like civilized beings, they're fighting like animals. Park heard the panic in their voices and smiled. Kim, open a channel to all Crothan ships. Channel open, sir. This is Captain Park to all Crothan forces. You wanted to know how we're beating you? It's simple. You fight like you're trying to win a war. We fight like we're trying to survive. There's a difference. More Crothan ships were losing power as Wan's electromagnetic bombs continued to explode throughout the asteroid field. The enemy vessels were trapped between floating rocks and a human ship that seemed to be everywhere at once. Captain, Dr. Choi said, I'm reading massive confusion in their fleet communications. They've never faced tactics like this. Their whole empire is built on overwhelming force, Park said. They don't know what to do when force isn't enough. A new voice came over the radio. It was Warlord Graktor, and he sounded furious. What kind of creatures are you? You fight without honor. You use tricks and deceptions. Park took the microphone. We use whatever works. That's what makes us human. Cowards. Come out and fight like warriors. We are fighting like warriors, Park replied. Human warriors. We don't fight fair. We fight to win. The New Horizon continued its deadly dance through the asteroid field. More Crothan ships fell to Wan's clever traps and the ship's precise weapons fire. Enemy fleet is down to 30 operational vessels, Lee reported. And us? Park asked. Minor damage. We've lost 2 crew members, 8 wounded. Park felt the weight of those losses. Every human life was precious, but they were still alive, still fighting. Captain, Yoon called out, the main Crothan fleet is moving. They're coming into the asteroid field. Park looked at the sensor display. 150 enemy ships were approaching. His tricks had worked against 50 ships, but against 150? Even humans had limits. 1. How many? More charges do we have? Maybe 10, sir, and they're smaller ones. Park nodded. They had hurt the Crothan, but the real battle was just beginning. All hands, this is the captain. We've shown them that humans don't give up easy. But they're bringing everything they have now. Stay sharp, stay brave. And remember, we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for people who can't fight for themselves. Elder Silandra's voice came over the communication system. Captain Park, our people see what you are doing. You fight like the heroes in our oldest songs. Songs about beings of light who stand against the darkness. We're not beings of light, Park said. We're just humans, but sometimes that's enough. The main Crothan fleet entered the asteroid field. The real test was about to begin. The main Crothan fleet moved through the asteroid field like a dark storm cloud. 150 warships, each one massive and deadly. On the bridge of the New Horizon, Captain Park watched them come. Captain, Kim Hae-jin said, her voice tight with fear. Warlord Graktor is sending a message to the entire galaxy. Put it through. Graktor's ugly face filled the screen. Behind him, Park could see other Crothan officers, all of them angry. To all who can hear this message, I am Warlord Graktor of the Crothan Empire. One human ship has dared to attack us. They have used cowardly tricks to destroy 50 of our vessels. But now they will learn the price of opposing the Crothan. We will crush them completely. We will make their death so terrible that no species will ever dare to stand against us again. The age of Crothan rule begins now. The message ended. Dr. Choi looked pale. He's broadcasting that everywhere, she said. Every alien civilization in the galaxy is hearing this. Good, Park said. Let them hear it. Lieutenant Commander Lee stared at him. Captain, he just told the entire galaxy that we're about to be destroyed. He told them he's going to try, Park corrected. There's a difference, Navigator Yoon called out from her station. Sir, they're surrounding us. We can't run. Park looked at the tactical display. The Crothan ships were moving into a perfect circle around the new horizon. It was the same tactic they had used to conquer 40 worlds. Surround the enemy and destroy them with overwhelming firepower. One, how are our engines? Park asked. Chief Wan wiped sweat from his forehead. Running hot, but they'll hold together, for a while. Dr. Choi, tell me about the Crothan Empire. How did they get so powerful? Dr. Choi pulled up files on her computer. They've been conquering worlds for 3,000 years. Every species they meet either surrenders immediately or gets destroyed. They've never faced serious resistance. Never. Most species see their fleet size and give up before fighting. The few that do fight use conventional tactics. Formation flying, direct assault, trying to match firepower with firepower. Park smiled. But we're not most species. No. Sir, we're human. Elder Silandra's voice came through the communication system. Captain Park, I can feel the fear from the Crothan ships. They are confused. In 3,000 years, they have never lost so many vessels to one enemy ship. You have done something impossible. We're not done yet, Park said. I know. I can feel your determination. It burns like a star. But, Captain, there are too many of them now. Even your human cleverness cannot overcome such numbers. Maybe you're right, Park admitted. But we have one advantage they don't understand. What is that? We're willing to lose. Lee looked at Park strangely. Sir? Every species the Crothan have fought wanted to win and survive, Park explained, but humans are different. We're willing to lose everything to protect what matters. That makes us unpredictable, Kim interrupted. Captain, incoming message from the Crothan fleet. On screen. Warlord Graktor appeared again. This time, he looked even angrier. Human Captain, you will surrender now. We will give you a quick death if you stop this foolishness. Counteroffer, Park said calmly. You leave this system, and we'll let you keep the ships you have left. Graktor's red eyes blazed. You dare make demands? You are one ship! One human ship, Park corrected. There's a difference. What makes you think you are special? Park stood up from his command chair. Warlord, let me tell you about my home, world. Earth is a planet that has been trying to kill its children for millions of years. Ice ages, volcanoes, earthquakes, storms, diseases, predators, everything on Earth wants to eat us, freeze us, burn us, or poison us. The alien warlord listened, his face puzzled. Most species become civilized before they become dangerous, Park continued. But humans are backwards. We learn to kill before we learn to think. We've been at war with our own planet and each other for 50,000 years. We know every dirty trick, every desperate gambit, every way to turn weakness into strength. That means nothing against superior numbers, doesn't it? Park asked. Let me tell you about Admiral Yi. 500 years ago on Earth, he faced 333 enemy ships with only 13 of his own. He won. Impossible. Or my ancestor, General Kim. He held a frozen hill against 120,000 Chinese soldiers with only 23,000 men. For 3 days. He won too. Park could see doubt creeping into Graktor's red eyes. Humans don't win because we're stronger or smarter, Park said. We win because we don't know when to quit. The communication ended. Park turned to his crew. All hands prepare for broken wing maneuver. Sir? Yoon asked. We're going to run, Park said. Badly. One looked confused. Run badly? Like a wounded bird, Dr. Choi said suddenly. Oh, that's brilliant. Captain, you want them to think we're trying to escape. Exactly. Yoon, take us toward Veltara Prime's sun. Make it look like our engines are failing. Yoon's fingers danced over her controls. The New Horizon began moving toward the system's star, but slowly, leaving a trail of gas and debris behind it. Perfect, Park said. Kim, send a message on all. Frequencies. Make it sound panicked, Kim nodded. Mayday, Mayday! This is the human ship New Horizon. Our engines are damaged. We're losing power, requesting immediate assistance from any friendly vessels. The Crothan fleet began to follow just as Park had hoped. They thought the human ship was running away. Distance. To the star? Park asked. 2 hours at current speed, Yoon replied. 1, are the solar collectors ready? One grinned. Ready and waiting, Captain. The Veltari sure build nice equipment. For the past day, Wan had been secretly modifying the solar energy collectors that orbited Veltara Prime's star. The Veltari used them to power their crystal, cities. But Wan had turned them into something else entirely. Dr. Choi, explain to our friends what we're really doing. Dr. Choi opened a channel to Elder Silandra. Elder, we need your help. We're going to try something dangerous. We need you to use your harmonic technology to focus solar energy. I do not understand. Solar energy for what? To create an artificial solar flare. There was a long pause. That could destroy your ship as well as theirs. We know, Park said. But it's the only way to even the odds. You would risk everything for us? That's what friends do. Another pause. Then, we will help you, brave humans. Our science ships will begin the harmonic resonance. The New Horizon continued its fake retreat toward the star. Behind it came the entire Crothan fleet, thinking they were chasing a beaten enemy. 1 hour to the star, Yoon reported. Captain, Lee said quietly, if this doesn't work, we're all going to die. Park nodded. If it does work, we might die anyway. Solar flares aren't gentle. Then why are we doing this? Park looked out at the beautiful crystal cities of Veltara. Prime, floating like jewels in space. Because someone has to. The Crothan fleet was getting closer. Soon they would be close enough to destroy the human ship with their combined firepower. 30 minutes to the star, Yoon called out. One, are you ready? As ready as I'll ever be, Captain. Dr. Choi, how are our Veltari friends doing? Their science ships are in position. Elder Silandra says they're ready. Park took a deep breath. Everything depended on the next few minutes. All hands prepare for solar flare. This is going to be rough. The New Horizon flew toward the burning star, with the entire Crothan fleet following behind. In a few minutes, they would find out if human cleverness was enough to defeat an empire. The New Horizon flew closer to the burning star of Veltara Prime. Behind it, the entire Crothan fleet spread out like a dark wave. Captain Park watched the distance counter drop. 5 minutes to the star. 1. Status on the solar collectors? Park asked. Chief Wan checked his instruments. All systems ready, Captain. The Veltari harmonic resonators are in perfect position. Dr. Choi, any word from Elder Silandra? She says her people are ready, but Captain, she's worried. She says the energy release will be massive. It might destroy us along with the Crothan. Park nodded. He knew the risks. Solar flares were like controlled explosions on the surface of a star. Even a small one could cook a spaceship, but it was their only chance. 2 minutes to flare range, Navigator Yoon called out. Kim, get me Warlord Graktor. The ugly face of the Crothan leader appeared on screen. He looked happy, thinking he had won. Ready to surrender, human? I want to send a message, Park said. What message? To your empire, to the galaxy, to everyone who's listening. Graktor laughed. No one will remember your last words, human. Maybe, but I'm going to say them anyway. Park stood up. He looked directly into the camera, knowing his words would be broadcast across the galaxy. My name is Captain Park Sung-ho of the human ship New Horizon. We came here because someone asked for help. The Veltari are peaceful people who never hurt anyone. They make beautiful art and music. They have children and families and dreams, just like everyone else. Enough! Graktor shouted. No one cares about your words. But Park continued. Warlord Graktor, you asked me what makes humans special. You want to know why 800 of us came to fight your empire? It's simple. We saw someone who needed help, and we helped. We saw someone being bullied, and we stepped in. That's what humans do. The Crothan warlord's face twisted with anger. Your noble words will not save you. You still don't understand, Park said calmly. You're not fighting 800 humans. You're fighting the echo of every human who ever lived. Everyone who ever refused to give up. Everyone who ever said no when a bully said yes. We are the children of a world that tried to kill us for 1,000,000 years and failed. You are not our first monsters. Destroy them! Now! Graktor screamed to his fleet, but Park wasn't finished. We don't fight because we're strong. We fight because it's right. We don't win because we're better. We win because we don't know when to quit. And today, you're going to learn what every bully learns when they pick on someone smaller. 1 minute to flare zone, Yoon announced. 1. Trigger the harmonic resonance. Wan's hand hit the controls. Around the star, dozens of Veltari energy collectors began to sing. Their crystal technology created a beautiful, deadly music that touched the surface of the burning sun. The star began to change. Bright spots appeared on its surface. Energy built up like water behind a dam. 30 seconds, Dr. Choi called out. The Crothan fleet was close now. Their weapons were charging, ready to destroy the human ship. All hands. Brace for solar flare, Park ordered. Flare beginning, one shouted. The star exploded. A wall of energy and radiation burst out from the sun's surface. It was like the birth of a new star, bright enough to blind cameras and hot enough to melt metal. The New Horizon was caught in the edge of the flare. Alarms screamed. The lights went out. The ship shook like a toy in the hands of a giant. But the Crothan fleet was directly in the path of the artificial solar flare. 100 ships vanished in seconds, their hulls melted by temperatures hotter than lava. 50 more were crippled, their systems fried by electromagnetic energy. Only 30 Crothan vessels survived, and they were badly damaged. On the bridge of the New Horizon, emergency lights flickered on. Park picked himself up from the floor. Status report, he called. Out. Hull breach on Deck 7, Yoon reported. Engine power down to 40%. But we're alive. Casualties? Dr. Choi was already checking her medical scanners. 15 dead, 30 wounded, could have been worse. Park felt the weight of those losses. Every human life mattered. But they had stopped an empire. Kim, are you getting any signals from the Crothan fleet? Kim worked at her damaged console. Yes, sir. But they're confused. Their command structure is broken. A new voice came over the radio. It wasn't Warlord Graktor. It was a younger Crothan officer. This is Commander Vextar of the Crothan Third Fleet. Warlord Graktor's ship was destroyed. I am now in command of remaining forces. This is Captain Park, Park replied. Captain Park, how? How did you do this? We had overwhelming force, superior numbers, better weapons. You had everything except the will to sacrifice for others, Park said. There was a long pause. Then the Crothan commander spoke again. In 3,000 years, No one has ever defeated a Crothan fleet. You have done something impossible." "Not impossible, just human. I do not understand your species. Why would you die for strangers?" Park thought about the question. Because they asked for help. Because they couldn't protect themselves. Because someone had to stand up to bullies like you. Another long pause. "The Empire will send more fleets. Let them come. They'll find more humans waiting. You cannot fight our entire empire." "Maybe not, but we'll try. And maybe that will be enough to inspire others." Elder Silandra's voice joined the conversation. "Commander Vexatar, the human speaks truth. Already, our people sing songs of their bravery. Already other species hear what happened here. The age of Crothan fear is ending." The Crothan commander was quiet for a long time. When he spoke again, his voice was different, uncertain. "Captain Park, I have never seen warriors like yours. In our empire, we fight for conquest and glory. But you fight for others, for people you do not even know." "That's what makes us different," Park said. I cannot continue this battle. My remaining ships will withdraw." "Good choice," Park said. The 30 surviving Crothan ships turned and flew away from Veltara Prime. For the first time in 3,000 years, the Crothan Empire had retreated. Kim looked at her communication board. "Captain, I'm getting messages from all over the galaxy. Word is spreading about what happened here." "What kind of messages?" "Species that were afraid of the Crothan are starting to fight back. Enslaved worlds are rebelling. Everyone wants to know about the humans who defeated an empire." Dr. Choi was treating wounded crew members, but she looked up with a smile. "Captain, we did more than save the Veltari. We gave the galaxy hope." Elder Silandra's voice filled the bridge. "Captain Park, our people wish to thank you. You have saved not just our lives, but our children's future. We will build a monument to your courage, a crystal spire that will sing songs of human bravery for 10,000 years." "That's not necessary," Park said. "Yes, it is. Because you have taught us something important. You have shown us that there is still good in the universe. That there are those who will stand against darkness, even when they cannot win." "But we did win," Park pointed out. "No, brave human. You won the moment you decided to come. Everything else was just details." Park looked around his damaged bridge. His crew was tired, hurt but alive. They had faced impossible odds and survived. "Yoon, set course for home. I think we've had enough adventure for one trip." "Yes, sir." Course laid in. As the New Horizon limped away from Veltara Prime, Captain Park made his final log entry. Captain's log. Final entry. The Crothan asked us why we fought. They couldn't understand why 800 humans would face 200,000 of them. For people we'd never met. The answer is simple. We saw someone who needed help, and we helped. We saw someone being hurt, and we stepped in. We saw a bully, and we bloodied his nose. It's not about being heroes. It's just about being human. 10 years later, Admiral Park Sung-ho stood on the observation deck of the new Galactic Defense Station. The Crothan Empire had collapsed. Dozens of worlds were free. And in the center of it all, the crystal cities of Veltara Prime sang their songs of hope. Dr. Choi, now Director of Interspecies Relations, joined him at the window. "Any regrets?" she asked. Park smiled. "About what?" "About starting a galactic revolution. We didn't start anything. We just reminded everyone that bullies can be beaten." Outside the window, ships from 100 different worlds flew together in peace. Human vessels flew alongside Veltari crystal ships, former Crothan worlds, and dozens of species that had found courage after hearing about the battle at Veltara Prime. A young Veltari approached them. Her crystal body sang with beautiful harmonics. "Admiral Park, our children ask me to give you a message." "What message?" "They want to know why humans are different from other species." Park thought about it. "What did you tell them?" I told them that when the universe becomes dark and full of monsters, humans don't hide from the dark. They become the light. Park nodded. That seemed about right. In the distance, Veltara Prime's sun shone brightly, no longer a weapon, but simply a star giving life to the worlds around it. And in the crystal cities, the children of a peaceful species sang songs about the day 800 humans taught the galaxy that hope was stronger than fear. The echo of that lesson would ring across the stars for generations to come.